Alright, Kristen, do you want to welcome everybody, or what do you want to do?
Hey everyone, we are Mr. and Mrs. Vegan, and we're here with a special guest.
Vegan Cheetah, what's going on, everybody?
So we're doing our first Q&A, and we wanted this Q&A to be totally real, totally uncut, and we thought, like, who would be the most trustworthy person to ask the most embarrassing questions ever? So,
I'm the man for the job, let's go.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So basically your viewers sent in questions to my Tumblr, and I'm gonna kind of filter through here, and we're gonna get to know each other a little bit.
We asked everybody on Snapchat, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram stories to send Ask Vegan Cheetah questions that they'd like to know about us that we probably wouldn't answer if you asked us directly.
And they want to know everything, believe me. All right, we're just stalling now here. For Mr. Vegan Q&A, what is Mr. Vegan's job? They seem to have a lot of money and live in a fancy LA neighborhood.
So I worked for 20 years as a software developer. I owned a software company, and in the beginning it paid really, really well. Like Web 1.0, we did great. I had almost 400 people working for my company at one time.
Okay.
And probably about how many years ago?
In 2008,
it was over. Like with the crash of the economy, everything changed, and little companies just can't really compete against big companies, basically.
Luckily you squirreled
I'm a very frugal person. I come from a very humble background, and I savor.
So the lesson is save.
Yep.
That's not bad.
You never know when it's gonna end.
Yep.
And it always does.
I always thought, I was like, this is too good, it's gonna end tomorrow. I lived my entire life like it's gonna end tomorrow, and I believe YouTube's the same way.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Vegan. We all know that Jeff, I'm assuming they're talking about Jeff Nelson, and the vegan couple don't have a great relationship or the highest opinion of each other. Would you recommend people subscribe to the vegan couple or veg source? No cop-out answers. Choose one.
I really don't. Okay, no cop-out. They're both my friends. They're both lovely people, and they both should have worked it out together rather than have that war.
Yeah.
It'd have been great.
Do you have hope that
I do.
Even the biggest feuds can be worked out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it would be so great if people worked them out on camera and just like turned on the camera, hit record, work it out, because that would just help everybody else see how to resolve differences.
Yeah. Okay.
So I love them both.
Okay. That makes for some good vegan reality TV.
I would like to see some feuds resolved with you on camera.
I'm working on it. Yeah, we're getting there. For both of you, if you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who do you think you would choose? Both of you answer like a separate.
For me, it would be Pritikin, because he's like me, came from kind of just a business background, and he changed the health for so many people. He actually had a Pritikin center here right in Santa Monica where he brought sick people in. Even Dr. Greger's grandmother went in a wheelchair, came out walking using a low-fat vegan diet.
Okay.
Now it's in Florida, and he passed away a long time ago, but I mean, he was a real inspiration.
But you'd have lunch, pick his brain a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. And you, Kristen?
Me, I would like to be best friends with Mary McDougal.
Mary McDougal, go to lunch with Mary McDougal on the daily?
We could probably make that happen.
I try to talk to her, but
That sounds like good company, though. If you could be superheroes, which two superpowers would you have? I guess you both get two. If you could think of any superhero powers.
I would heal everybody.
With just a touch of a hand?
Yes. Anything that's going on, I would heal it with my hand.
Mind reading. That would be the best power.
You wouldn't have like Jedi mind tricks where you could convince people to go vegan just by the wave of a hand, maybe?
I don't believe that you should convince people to go vegan. I believe you should set like a healthy, nurturing environment where they make that choice. People got to own the choice. So if I can see into their head and see what they're worried about, then I can answer those questions or help them find those answers. Really, it's better to help people find answers than just give them answers to questions.
Okay. Very insightful. For Lex, can I call you Lex or Alex?
Absolutely.
Was Kristen love at first sight?
Oh my God. How could she not be, but it was pretty wild. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. It was at my company 4th of July party. I had met her sister like a week or two before.
Yeah, and she said you were the craziest, most eccentric, weird person she's ever
Because
met.
I was a really young person. I mean, in the beginning of the internet, like anybody who just put some effort in did really well.
Okay.
And so I was like this 20-year-old kid with a house and a nice car and, throwing big parties. And I had this 4th of July party and I just said, hey, everybody bring all your friends. And I remember we're sitting at this long table and she, looks like Bombshell Barbie walks in.
Yeah.
And all the girls just instantly start hating on her, like, who's Barbie? What's she thinking wearing that white dress? And I'm just like, oh my God.
Had your attention? Very first time, huh? Well, that's romantic. I like that. I like that answer. Let's see here. There's so many too. Like your viewers are very interested to see what's going on.
Thank you, guys.
Do any of you have any like personal dreams that have not been fulfilled yet, or that you're still working towards?
It's funny that we talked about that
We
today.
just did.
Yeah.
I asked him earlier, is there anything in this life that you haven't done yet that you want to do before you die? Like, where are you at with everything?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I got into business just to support my guitar habit of playing music, and but I don't know. I mean, we went to a pretty awesome concert recently, and just to be up on stage and play in front of thousands of screaming fans. But then while I was sitting there, I thought like, more people than this watch my videos, so I'm pretty content.
We're exactly where we want to be. Like, we are doing exactly what we want to do, what we love to do, and what we're passionate about. So
I didn't know you played music though.
Yeah, at the gym.
All right, you, me, and Ryan someday.
Yeah.
All right.
We can play at Veg Fest if you want.
Play at Veg Fest.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You have been to the Thai Fruit Festival, right?
I have, twice.
Have you been?
No, I have not.
Okay, would you ever go to the Thai Fruit Festival?
I don't
Ever?
know. I mean,
What's my selling point on you?
he said that I'm gonna love the food.
That you're gonna love the food?
Well, she's allergic to onions and garlic.
Okay.
In Thailand, their Jay, like their kind of vegan vegetarian religion, has no onions and garlic in it, so she can eat everywhere.
Okay.
And
But to get me on a plane that far,
it's a miserable trip from LA to Thailand. It's like the most miserable plane flight ever. There's no direct flights, and
Wow.
So-
So like way over 24 hours getting there, probably.
it can be even worse than that, depending
Really?
on like the connect. I mean, I pay a little bit more to go Hong Kong to Chiang Mai, but you can get stuck in Hong Kong. I've seen people get stuck in Hong Kong for like 18 hours or something.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see here. Question for Lex and Kristen. One of them called you Les. It must be a typo. Let's hope it's a typo.
I'll try to give them more in this answer.
If you were single, all right, are there any which person from the vegan community do you think you would date and why? If you were single, all hypothetical.
Oh my gosh.
me?
You go first.
Yeah, you go
now,
first,
Bob.
Kristen.
I know I could say it. It would be kind of weird.
The question's kind of
This is
weird.
what people want. That's what people
Vegan
want.
Cheetah looks exactly like my first boyfriend.
Oh!
It's funny. It's funny to be around him because there's like all that like I don't know.
Oh
It's a
man.
little embarrassing.
Oh,
In another life, not
Yes.
this one.
oh God.
All right, your turn.
Oh man, this is tough, because
They're gonna get like freaked out or
I know it's all young people, and it'd be really creepy to pick a kid.
I think they're like under
Pick
21.
a kid. It's like there's maybe I'll steal Angie from Ryan.
Angie from Ryan. That's a safe way to go. Right?
Yeah, I go age appropriate.
Okay. All right. Oh my God. These answers.
Watch out, Ryan.
This is a good question, a good follow-up. Do you ever get jealous of each other? Whether it's like in relationships, has there ever been like a situation where you might have got jealous, or do you ever get jealous like with careers or YouTube or?
I think we went through so much shit with previous relationships
Yeah.
that like we don't really have a jealousy bone.
There is one thing, like I mean, we're not jealous, but he has so much he's such a better speaker than I am, and I'm always inspired to like
she did an amazing video with Ravana the other day, and she's beating herself up for nothing. Everybody out there, check it out. It'll be on.
It's up there. It just always doesn't come out so eloquently as you do.
I get in trouble with the viewers because I talk too much. They don't want to hear what I have to say. They want to hear Kristen talk.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited about it, so I often overpower her in the video, and then I get in trouble when we go to edit, and it's just like, you talk the whole time. I'm like, maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution. Give Kristen more airtime.
Yeah. Is there anything about Kristen that you admire, a quality that you wish you might have had?
A quality from Kristen that I would like to have. Oh, shite.
Talking less.
My persistence.
Yeah, she's super. I guess I give up too easy, and she will never give up. No.
Okay. Let's see. This is kind of stating the obvious. Or never mind, I misread the question. They want to know, how often does Mr. and Mrs. Vegan have sex?
Well, I'll tell you something.
Not right now. Not a lot.
Before this thing got in the way, what do I say, like 2-3 times a week? You have to answer.
It's hard. You wouldn't believe
with this thing, I don't know. I was actually going to Google like sexual positions for pregnant women.
Yes.
It's like the kid that kicking while you. Let's just say that I can't wait for this thing to get out.
Okay. Okay. All right. Often enough.
Here we go.
Have you ever ate like a non-vegan food, either by accident or whatever, since being vegan that you know of?
Yeah, it happens. It happens to everybody. It's going to happen to everybody.
It happened, just a couple years. Seriously, I think it happened like 6 months ago. I was at...
Do you always get a piece of cheese or ride along?
Or like something tastes funky and you're like, is there chicken in this?
Yeah, or like even with pizza toppings. The thing is whenever you're going somewhere where there's like toppings and lots of... thing where they're grabbing the onions here, grabbing this there, they all drop and they cross-contaminate. When we were back in St. Louis, we had to send our stuff. Well, we didn't send it back. We just kept feeding it to our family. We're like, no, this one didn't come out right. You eat this one. You eat this one.
The worst was at Pizzanista when I was eating. It was so dark in there, and I'm eating my salad. And I start noticing.
What's this salty bit?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my god, there's like bacon in it. It happens. You can't freak out about this. Like when vegans freak out, it's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like this shit happens. It's not a big deal. They're not doing it deliberately. It's just cross-contamination happens. It's a reality, and you just deal with it.
Okay.
We know vegans that'll just eat it. They don't give a shit. They didn't contribute to the, initial harm, and why throw it away?
Yeah.
Here in LA, it's nice because you just walk outside and feed it to a homeless person.
Yeah. Not to mention all the vegan spots around here. Can we keep going with more?
Sure,
We got time?
whatever you think's good. Yeah.
We have. How do you stay so positive and happy all the time? You both of you kind of have this positive, outgoing image. Do you ever struggle with depression? Is the second part of the question.
We've been through so much shit in our lives. Yeah. We've seen it all, and just to be in this place that we're right now it's like a gift. I don't know. It's really easy to be happy.
Don't realize that you have kind of gotten here over
a long period of struggle and trial and error, and
they just see Mr. and Mrs. Vegan and think it's always been Mr. and Mrs. Vegan.
They don't realize I'm 40 years old and it's like a lifetime of strife to get to where you are. It's tough to tell people when the message is that permanent vacation that you like to talk about. It's a falsehood. Like this YouTube can be gone tomorrow. Okay. You have to have some real skills to fall back on. And I'm happy you're doing broadcast journalism. Like I encourage people to get useful knowledge for their investment education. That's what we both did.
Okay. This is actually a good follow-up question. What you just said. Somebody wants to know. And they say, don't be diplomatic or PC. This is just what they said. What are your true thoughts on like Raw Till 4 and I guess the phenomenon of the Raw Till 4 lifestyle, maybe living like in a place like Thailand and that kind of thing?
I actually thought we'd get this question, so I'm slightly prepared, but I'm going to be freaking honest here. It's why we're here. It's why we're talking to you, because what Freely and Harley did was manage to get a healthier message through to literally millions and millions of people. And we struggled for years to help young people give a shit about their health, because it's a totally toxic food environment out there. And, there's the advantages of raw till 4 that, hey, this apple, you're eating an apple, a banana, all this stuff, it doesn't have butter on it, doesn't have dairy. I don't have to look at fruit and think like, oh, does it have some contamination of non-vegan products? They're eating a whole food. I'd rather people not blend it up into a smoothie. I'd rather they eat the whole fruit. But the reason why I went to Thai Fruit Fest is because after 4 o'clock, they eat just like us.
Yeah.
So I remember getting off the plane, a horrible flight. I took my sister, and we go right to the Q&A, and I'm like, hey man, I don't eat any of that fruit, but after 4 we're the same. Is it cool if I'm here? And Harley was like, sure, come on in, So
Did you participate in the cycling events too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Man. It was great.
You cycle here in
I do. I even have a car with bicycle pedals. Take you for a ride if you want.
Oh, that's right. I think I saw that in a blog somewhere. Yeah, there's so many good questions here. I'm trying to find the best ones. Do you believe that there is something after death, or do you think everything ends when people die? I mean, do you have any spiritual or religious beliefs on that?
I was born without a spiritual bone in my body.
Okay.
And I thought people were insane, especially when they tried to sell Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny on me. I'm like, how did I end up here on this planet with these nut jobs? So
Mr. Vegan at 10 years old wasn't buying the Easter Bunny?
When I met my first atheist friends, I was like, this is amazing. And then I started learning Chinese and moved to China because there was 1.5 billion atheists there, and I wanted to be around people that believed in science. Everything I do is based on science. I love the aspects of spirituality. Our brain's wired for spirituality for the most part. Mine obviously isn't. But there's a God part of my brain.
I have a God part in my brain.
Yeah.
So I am a spiritual.
We developed a God part to explain the unexplainable and give us comfort, But now we have science, and we can really, come up with really good answers. And
is it a topic of debate between the two of you ever? No. Not too much? No? You kind of just respect each other's beliefs on that stuff?
I don't believe in beliefs. I believe in science. It's not like, hey, I believe in fairy tales. I believe in this. You can believe in anything.
Magic.
You can believe in anything.
You believe in magic?
But there's either the known or the unknown. And I don't think we should, spiritualize the unknown. I think we should just.
There is a debate. Should we tell our little one, is there a Santa Claus? Should we tell him there's an Easter Bunny? So there is going to be a little controversy.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that at this point. I gotta really
we'll have to follow that development
mental development
story there.
I don't want to scar him for life,
Yeah. Can I ask you a question now that we're on the
Absolutely.
subject? What do you think about when people promote things like raw veganism, for instance, as maybe a way to some kind of spiritual ascension, or unlocking your spiritual potential through a raw vegan diet?
Anything you could do with raw vegetables, you could do with cooked vegetables. There's no freaking difference. And I really get really angry when people try to pseudoscience nutrients. They don't even understand how a molecule works, or what heat even does to it. They don't even understand what heat is.
Yeah.
Most people think heat is weight, and you don't. It's physics, people.
You think a lot of that stuff is just kind of pseudoscience or pseudo-spiritual?
I think anybody's going to feel better eating a healthy diet, which includes raw vegetables.
Yeah.
So I just think if you ate a healthy vegan diet, you'd feel that no matter how you prepared your food.
Okay. Okay. I think so too. I feel pretty good. I don't even think I had any raw vegetables today. So, if Alex and Kristen could live on 3 meals for the rest of their lives, what would it be?
I already do.
Not a lot of variety in that vegan diet?
I do. But
Mine's easy.
I don't know, I like the similar things, but what is it, oats? I need oats, potatoes, and
some sort of bean and green.
Yeah, I need a bean. I don't know, I could live on all starches. I don't even need vegetables.
I'm just a normal person. I like tacos, burritos, and pizza. There you go. I can have a breakfast burrito, a lunch taco, and a dinner pizza. That's my life. So
I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Your son's better than mine.
You want to do just a couple more here?
Yeah, I mean, if you got them.
Yeah. Have you chose a name for the baby boy?
We have an idea, but
We have an idea.
we want to see him when he comes out and be like, you know.
Do you have like a short list at least?
We have a very short list.
We do.
Do you want to share? Or do you want to keep it private?
She said I couldn't, but I mean, I don't know when this is getting uploaded.
I don't want to tell anyone.
Okay.
They'll know. Yeah.
All right, we'll find out.
That's the only question we're gonna fudge on. That's our one. That's our one mulligan.
Okay. Well, they didn't say. They didn't specify no dodging that question. If your child wanted to start eating non-vegan foods, you know, do you think that situation would ever happen? How would you deal with it? And what if you found out that he, you know, ate a non-vegan food? Maybe went to a friend's house. And
people go through rebellion in their life.
Yeah.
You know, we've been with a lot of people that have vegan children, and we know that that's never happened in any of the cases that we know.
So you're not worried about it?
I'm not worried about it. And if it happens, it happens. And, you know, kids make mistakes. What can you do?
Okay.
If a kid's not making a mistake, I'd be more worried.
Yeah. So, what's Mr. and Mrs. Oh man, where'd it go here? Sorry, hold on. I just lost the question. This is a good one. How annoyed do Mr. and Mrs. Vegan get when they hear other vegans on YouTube preaching about like adding a lot of processed sugar to meals and smashing in calories and stuff like that? I mean, is it an issue?
You know,
I want to say I was actually one of those people that, you know, I ate a really high sugar diet at one point in my life before I ever knew, you know, anybody else that was doing it. It just doesn't make you feel good. So I can't, I mean, I can't.
I think everything has to be taken in context with the information they're combating. You know, you have this low carb movement that's literally murdering people. And then, you know, if you only came at it with a moderate approach, where would you get? So it's kind of good to have some extremists on this side and then everybody just land in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would hope that, you know, our friends that are saying these things would, you know, kind of come back around to the whole food method. But again, if you're an athlete and you go into any running store, cycling store, and you go and buy the energy gels, what are they? They're sugar. If you're doing high performance athletics, running marathons, it's brown rice syrup, all these sugar syrups. Sugar. I mean, that's what you need if you're an athlete. But, you know, it should be based on a foundation of healthy food, and then that stuff for the performance. And I think that making that clear would help a lot of people make less mistakes.
Okay, and you're more about the starches and your personal.
Yeah, you put the sweetener on the healthy food to make it taste better. Like
just like Dr. McDougall said.
Yeah, you can't have
make the medicine go down. Right?
There you go, perfect.
Let's end with this question. This is a good question. It's a two-part question, but how did both of you go vegan, and what got you to start YouTube and social media? You know, I know Tumblr is very active on that. What can you talk about that?
I was about 245 or something like that. About 100 pounds overweight. I was freaking miserable. I was flunking out of law school. I was just a wreck. My brother was the captain of the track team, and he told me I looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, man.
He said that he was too embarrassed to be seen with me, and I couldn't go to any party. He was an undergrad, and I was in law school. Said I couldn't go to any parties with him because he's the.
That's so mean.
Yeah, I know. But you know, when people like tell me about fat shaming, I was like, well, I was fat shamed to help. Like, you just have to take things constructively. If somebody's being super nasty at you just to be nasty, that's one thing. If they're being nasty at you to get you healthy, that's another thing. Just ask them to say like, hey, are you doing this because you hate me, or are you doing this because you love me? And then say, hey, if you said it like this, it'd probably be more effective. You know, just help people with their message when they're trying to help you, and I think that makes things better. Okay. But anyways, my mom bought the McDougall book in 1984, and in the late 90s, my brother was like, hey, mom's got that book. Tell her to send you that. You know, it's the one health book in our whole house, you know. She sends it to me. I read chapter 1. I'm like, all dairy's out. I read, because, you know, I told you I lived in China. And McDougall said, oh, look, Asians, they're all trim. They're all healthy. They don't have all these diseases we have. And I lived there, and I ate at McDonald's and KFC every day. Okay. I lived in China, did not eat the food, ate at McDonald's and KFC every day. I read this thing and I'm like, my God, I'm a fucking idiot. You know, I can't believe I was like in the healthiest place on the planet eating Western food in an Eastern country. Like, what a dumbass. Literally the weight melted off. But my brother would drive me 14 miles from our house and drop me off and make me walk and run home. and eating the McDougall diet, I lost literally a pound a day doing that. And like people thought I was on heroin, they thought I was on cocaine, they didn't know what was going on, they thought I had AIDS. It was just like a whole like conspiracy in my law school. What the fuck happened to him?
Yeah. It was just that McDougall diet book.
It literally having.
And your parents were on that diet too?
They just used it to support like not having dairy in the house.
Yeah.
Like they knew dairy was evil, and like everybody was, all the neighbors were like, "Oh, you don't have milk in the refrigerator. What's wrong with you? You bad parents."
Yeah.
So that's why they bought it. He was on the radio in St. Louis at the time, and that's how they learned about it.
Okay. How did you end up vegan then?
Well, when I met Alex, I was on a calorie restricted diet, trying to lose weight. I had all these health problems, just a total mess, and really it was because of him. I never imagined where I would have been without it.
I never forced veganism on her. I dated her for 3 years before she even became vegan.
It took me a while. I would go on it, I'd feel better, and then all of a sudden I'd be back at work, or I would have some temptations. Because I was the second vegan I ever knew. Nobody was vegan, and everyone, there was just nobody even heard of it. I was just, I
didn't meet another vegan for years.
Yeah.
People thought I was gay, had a disease, like whatever, like you name it. Like I was like, I'm in the middle of Missouri, like the fuck am I doing to myself? And then things just started really taking off, and when I saw what was, to answer the second part of the question, like when I saw what was going on, I looked at all these people at that Thai Fruit Fest, and I'm like, these people are killing it. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, I want to go be around all these healthy people.
And there was no young people that cared in veganism at that time that we knew that cared about actual health.
No.
It was just like...
There's Happy Herbivore, as our friend Lindsay. She was the only one out there, like, writing healthy cookbooks and doing well. But like, grandmothers were buying those books, not kids.
So what brought you into YouTube then? Kind of the Thai Fruit Festival scene and stuff?
Literally, like I told you, get off the plane.
You saw everybody else doing it, and you were like, hey,
we would have never started. We would have never started the YouTube channel if Asina O'Neill didn't come here.
Yeah.
And she's like, you guys should get on YouTube. She's the one that told us to get on YouTube.
So did Harley. I mean, in talking with Harley, the first time I met him at the Q&A right off the plane in Thailand, he's like, you talk really well. You should go down YouTube. I'm like, you tell that to everybody. Like, it's a big pyramid scam. You just keep getting them in. And then, we met Asina at that, my sister and I met Asina at that Fruit Fest, and she was like, oh, I'm coming to LA. I'm like, oh yeah, come hang out. I got a guest room, and that was the first person to stay in the guest room. Okay. And she made our first video, and it was of me ordering a pizza.
Yeah.
And like 40,000 people watched me order a pizza. And I'm like, there's something to this.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's our demographic keeps growing. Like it's really cool to just have people of all ages figuring this out before they have the damage.
Yeah. You guys getting ready to hit 100K maybe this year, right?
Maybe.
Next year.
YouTube's doing some really funky stuff. Like, I don't think our viewers can actually...
That's why you gotta smash the like button.
Yeah, smash the like button.
Focus on the description. Like, comment.
Comment at least 15 to 20 times.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I know you guys a lot better. I hope the viewers feel the same.
And thank you so much. I literally think this should be the gold standard for Q&As.
Yeah.
I think everybody
have a filter.
Invite Charlie there to ask.
I gotta do all the Q&As.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big commitment, guys.
All right, man. Definitely check out his channel. He doesn't hold back at all, and he keeps us all honest.
We'll say. I'll go with that. Yeah. Thanks, Lex.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.